Hello, Sanger Unified. Today we're going to talk about how to, within Illuminate, print out report cards for kindergarten through 5th grade teachers. So we've been working mostly within our grade books. Here within the grade books, you have your grade book, you have all your assignments, and you've put in the scores for that. But in order to actually print up the report cards, we're going to use this other tab here. So from your dashboard or from up here at the top, this black bar, we're going to choose grades. So this is where we set up all of our report cards. Now, the previous video talked about how to enter in specific fields for the report card, but what we need to click on in order to actually print them is, wouldn't you know it, printing. So under report cards and then printing. Now, you might have a print history here if you've kind of played around with this and you have maybe printed up parent letters or printed up any report cards just to see what it would look like. But if you don't have anything, then all you would have is this up here, the grading period, which you want to make sure is the correct trimester, the report card, which should only give you that one grade level, so your correct grade level, and then your course, which again, unless you are, well, you wouldn't be a secondary teacher doing Illuminate because that's Power School, so never mind, sorry. So it should just have your grade level. For current students, you can just choose current or all students in order to make sure that you have all your students, and then select students. Now from here, you can choose if you just needed to reprint one specific student, you could only click them. So select none and then maybe only click David if you just needed to print that, or you can click select all. For this first trimester, when you're printing them up for printing up all the report cards for parent-teacher conferences, or at the end of the second trimester, you most likely will just want to select all. Now, you have this ability to download a specific one, so you can click download and see just what that one looks like. Or, I'm going to go back. I might have to do that part again, so select students, make sure it's all selected. And then down here, you can choose what language. Now, just one little note. If you do the correspondence language, it will match with whatever the parents have selected or what the school has put in within Power School. So say, for example, that a student's parents only speak Spanish and they requested that all correspondence from the school be sent in Spanish. If you choose correspondence language, it will know which students are supposed to get in English or Spanish, and it just changed. For Destiny, they're supposed to have a Spanish letter versus English up here. So that's what the correspondence language means. You can also choose specific languages for certain people, and that's why it's helpful to like only be able to click certain ones and then only print them out in Hmong for those students, or Spanish and so on. Now, these languages will only change the kind of skeleton of the report card where it says English, language arts, or math. It won't translate any comments that you've typed in. So just keep that in mind. It will only translate the actual kind of blueprint of the report card. Just to get an example of that, I'm going to make sure that all are selected. I'm going to choose the correspondence language, and then I'm going to click print. Now for this notes, it's optional. I'm going to leave it blank, and I'm just going to click save. Up here, it tells you that we're generating the report card. It'll start automatically, and you can view your print history. I might put like sample, because this isn't my account, sample printed by Katie. But you might not need that. And you can see it just popped up. It successfully saved those notes. And then down here in my downloads folder, or depending on if you're using Chrome, Safari, it might show up in a different area. Your best bet, if you're not sure, is to always just come up to the window and then choose downloads, and it'll show you all of your downloads. And I just got rid of them, so I'm going to go back. And so here's my downloads. Now this is what the report card looks like right now, and you can see that there's some holes in it. So these are all of the report cards front and back for each of the students. It has some pre-populated notes or numbers. That is from the grade books that you guys have been maintaining all trimester. So it has calculated it out to be the correct performance level, the 1, 2, 3, 4. There are a lot of blanks though, especially for like the comments or the social skills work habits. And that's what that previous video will come in handy, where you're entering it in by field. for these different, especially the OSPN, because those are not linked to a grade book. You haven't been keeping assessments based on those social skills, so it's going to be just an OSPN. And that's where that previous video entering them will come in handy. But here you have your report of student learning, your report card ready to print up. Now, depending on the school site, this might be teacher responsibility, it might be CSP responsibility. You might, as a teacher, want to not print it, but save a PDF just so you know what they look like. And then either the CSP or your school site will decide how the printing is handled. But they can be printed back to back so that on one 8.5 by 11, you have that report of student learning for the parents. You can also print up multiple copies so that they can sign one and you can give them one, because it is not on triplicate. So that's one thing to keep in mind, that we don't have a record of it. We do, of course, have the record within Illuminate, but if they want to sign one in order to have that parent signature, you might have to print up a second copy in order to give them that day. I just want to show you what one of the Spanish ones looks like. So I'm going to try to scroll and find. Needle in a haystack kind of a issue right now. But of course, it would just be in that Spanish language. And again, any comments that you've added in would not be translated. I'm going to give up on that. And of course, as soon as I give up, it's going to be like the next one probably. But anyhow, you see, you kind of get the picture and see how it was done. And it was all done from this grades and then printing and print history. So now within the print history, it'll show that I printed up 23 students in their correspondence language, and then it has that note that I saved on there so that this teacher knows that I printed that up, not her. But there you have it. So that is how to either preview with the PDF or actually print the hard copy of the report cards for this trimester. Have a great day. Thank you.